Hey family, Dr. Jackie here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell in the corner so that you'll be notified when I post new content and when I go live. Go ahead and like the video so that we can get this into the algorithm so that more people can hear this important message, especially black women, because we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. And we're going to be talking about it today. The topic of today's video is debunking the myth that says that black women are going to die alone. And so you might as well hang it up, get a dog, get a cat, because you've hit the wall. Winter has come, black woman. And especially for you, black women, if you are not married, if you are not wifed up, if you are not taken or chosen or picked to be in a relationship with a black man. Now, I want to just say this from the outset, that this is not just a myth, ladies. It is a lie. It is a lie that is perpetuated by the red pill content makers, those of the manosphere, the toxic side of the manosphere, those alpha males, and even the mammys out there that are trying to convince black women that their only purpose and their only reason for existence is to be wifed by a black man. Whether it's a quote unquote high value black man or whether it's an average black man, it doesn't matter. Because they're trying to convince you, black women, that your only reason for existing is to have the privilege and the honor of having been picked by a black man as his wife or his quote-unquote significant other. And the reason they're trying to convince you, the reason they're trying to work overtime, or they are working overtime so hard, and they go so much into this dusty logic, is very simple. They're trying to convince black women to convince themselves that the best that they can do is to be wifed by a black man, and a high value black man who has options, or an average man who just flat out cheats, is the best that we can hope for, because after all, men are going to be men, right? Boys will be boys. And your job, black woman, is to understand that and to agree to that with no strings attached, because your value is tied to your ability to keep that man, even if it's a 50-50 relationship or it's non-reciprocal. Your ability to be okay with the fact that you only have 50% of that man, because the other 50% of that man is going to be exercising his options if he's a high value man, or flat out cheating if he's an average man. And that's the best you can hope for. So let's talk about this whole idea about cheating, because cheating has gotten redefined, if you will, because it no longer it only means in black manosphere language if a man is actually sleeping with multiple women. It doesn't include whether he's talking to some women, whether he's emotionally attached to other women. It doesn't include that, because they don't consider that cheating. They consider that, a man being a man. And so your ability to understand that, black woman, and your ability to be okay with that, black woman, has everything to do with how successful you are as a black woman. Because if you can understand that dusty logic and you don't consider it dusty, then you are more likely able to keep that man, as opposed to someone who's not going to put up with it. So this whole notion behind you're going to die alone, black woman, if you are not privileged enough to be wifed up by a man, a black man, whether it's a high value black man or an average black man, then you might as well pick a dog, pick a corner and go somewhere and die. Get ready to die because winter has come for you. And so the reason why that is a lie, a flat out lie, is because the only fear of dying alone that we have in our community is on the side of the black man. Black women aren't afraid to die alone, especially black women who have done the work, who have who's worked on herself. She's glowed up. She's built up her resources, and she's financially stable, and she has her own home, and she can travel. She can do whatever she wants to do without a man. There's no fear of dying alone. But the black man is so afraid of dying alone that he goes to great lengths, black woman, to try to convince you that you need him. You need him for your very existence. And if he's successful in convincing you as a black woman that you need him for your very existence, that gives him license to rest in his degradation, basically. It gives him no incentive to be better. It gives him no incentive to want to be faithful, because he's counting on the fact, and he's banking on the fact that he has convinced you, black woman, that you need him for your very existence, when in reality, they need us. He needs you because he is the one who is afraid of dying alone. And number two, why that's a lie, is because most women, especially black women, are the most resourceful women on the planet. So even if she doesn't get married or is not in a relationship, most black women, especially the modern black woman, is very resourceful and has a whole community of friends and family and activities that she is involved in that occupy her time, that she adds value to. Her career, her family, her friends, her community, her church, her organizations. She's building a business. She's building a home. She's not bothered by this dusty logic nonsense that, or the fear that she's going to die alone, because she's happy. And if the truth be told, honestly, a lot of single black women, when they really wake up and understand that there's not much to invest in terms of the collective of the black male community, that there's really nothing there. When she realizes that and wakes up to that reality, her quality of life actually increases because she's satisfied. She's happy. And she understands her value, her true value, and her worth. And so number one, why this whole dusty logic talking point that a black woman is going to die alone if she doesn't have the privilege of being wifed up by a high value man or even an average black man, that she's going to die alone and hit the wall and she might as well get a dog and go somewhere and sit down. The reason why that's a lie is because number one, it's not true. Because they're the ones who are afraid, more so than black women. And number two, most black women, especially modern black women, have built their own communities of support and encouragement and love with their family and their friends and their community and their projects and their businesses and the things that they're engaged in. And number three, the reason why that is a lie is because the truth is, at the end of the day, everybody dies alone. Everybody dies alone. When you leave this earth and when you take your last breath, you're not going to take nobody with you. You're not going to take anybody with you. Whether you're a black woman, whether you're a black man, whether you're a high value black man, whether you're an average black man, whether you're blue collar, whatever you are, you're not going to take anybody with you when you take your last breath. It's a fate that we're all going to face because nobody is going to live forever. And I'm so glad to see that so many black women are waking up to the reality that their quality of life does not depend on them being picked to be someone's wife, especially when it's going to be a non-reciprocal relationship and they have to just be okay with that. I'm so glad that so many more black women are waking up and realizing that, no, you don't have to be okay with that. And that, in fact, your quality of life actually increases the more you realize your own self-worth and your own value, and that you are the prize, black woman. You are the prize. If you weren't the prize, do you really think that these red pill toxic alpha male manosphere content creators and their followers would be working overtime trying to convince you that you're not? If you weren't the prize, do you really believe that they would be trying so hard to try to convince you that you're not the prize? They know you're the prize. And truth be told, they know it probably a lot better than a lot of black women know it, because so many of us have been conditioned not to believe that, or not to really understand their value. So many black women have been conditioned to not understand their value, and that is the very premise that these red pill, toxic alpha male manosphere and even the mammys are banking their argument on. The low self-esteem of the majority of the women who don't understand that they are in fact the prize. And these are the same low self-esteem black women that call into these shows trying to get someone to validate them, when really they don't understand that they have the power to validate themselves. And for the life of me, I don't understand why so many women don't get that. But I'm hopeful because so many more women are waking up. And unfortunately, I believe that there's going to be, it's going to take generations, ladies, unfortunately, for the majority of black women to see that this season that we're in, and literally that we've been in for the past few years and even longer, that it's here for a reason. And I think it's here because it's creating some conversations inside the black community, some very necessary conversations inside the black community. And my hope and my prayer is that more and more black women will wake up and realize that, hey, this is nonsense. These are lies. This is not my purpose. This is not my only value in life. That I was created for a greater purpose and to add value in a greater way. Now, I'm not knocking those who choose to be married and who want to be married. I'm just saying, be smart, okay? Just because your heart is involved doesn't mean you don't bring your brain along with you. So understand what's going on in our community and refuse to accept this dusty logic or the myth that you're going to die lonely and alone, because it's simply not true and the statistics don't bear it out. The only ones in our community who are afraid to die alone are black men. That's why they work overtime trying to convince you that you need them. And once you realize that you don't, and that it's okay not to need them, that frees you up to be able to want them if you choose to. and not base it on necessity for your very life's existence, because that's ridiculous and it's demeaning. So I hope this has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and let me know what you think in the comments below about today's content. And thanks for watching. And until I see you on the next video, God bless, and y'all take good care. Bye.